comments. Y'all have been killing me in the comments for some of the what I said I've been doing, making Tony. Yeah, wait, what did that person say? Let's see, Chopper. No. What do you want me? What do you want me to call? What do you want me to call the reindeer? What Do you want me to call him Tony the blue-nosed reindeer? Why the heck am I starting off with such a bad... Ow, that hurt. Ow, that really hurt. But, Happy New Year. I couldn't do my video because there were some difficulties. But now I'm just going to be doing this video, and this is the New Year's... Happy New Year's video, I guess. So, I know y'all are starting to get mad at me making other characters, amped and strong and non-logical, but it's a what if, you have to remember that. So, let me explain it to y'all. We what if YouTubers, how am I going? I'm going in the way of, let's say, Ace Ryu, but Ace Ryu amping up the entire crew instead of just, one person. Well, he's Kaneki Ryu and he quit. Or I'm going in the way of the Drukage Saruto. He, on his Gon what if, and, he does that a lot on his other what ifs. He makes his players stronger. Please don't be mad. This is going to be what if Usopp was a bold king? No, what's that thing on his back? Nothing. So Usopp is basically going to be strong, bold, and he doesn't fear anything. Everything that you're seeing here, he has on. So we're going to start at a time skip. We're not going to start at the regular series. When Doflamingo gives Usopp a $500 million berry. Somehow, Usopp is where the Revolutionary Army is, and let's just pretend that they're on the exact same island. Usopp then goes, as everyone's looking at this, they look in shock. I know this one's gonna be crazy, but I'm going to say that I'm going to say that Usopp gave Luffy an idea, because in this one, Usopp's way more smarter. He's bold and courageous and has no fears. So yeah, I'm going to say Usopp was not scared. So he gave Luffy this idea. How about you make commanders of your team? Luffy says, "Oh, that's a great idea, Usopp. Okay, so my first crewmate." This is a flashback. My first crewmate was Zoro. Okay, so that would mean Zoro is Chief Commander Captain. Wait, is Zoro? Usopp gave him these ideas. He gave him 3 things to pick out of, and I'm just gonna name them. Zoro is Chief Commander Captain. First Chief Commander Captain. Usopp says, I was hoping you'd make me Chief Commander Captain. Oh, Usopp, you're co-first mate Chief Commander Captain. So you and Zoro kind of share the same role. Sanji, you're Chief Commander Second Captain. As in Nami says, hold up. What about me? I didn't think about you. You're kind of just our navigator. You're not really that strong. This is when they got the entire original crew before Frankie and stuff like that. I think they would have already had Chopper. Yeah, they already have Chopper. Wait, if they already have Chopper, wouldn't that mean... Yeah. This is around when Blackbeard was introduced. back in that snow country. Chopper's just gonna be random now, cause gosh, y'all hate Chopper. But let's just get back to the flashback. Is they see Luffy, they see Usopp walking through the Revolutionary Army. Let's just pretend that Dragon and Sabo are there. They ask, "Why? Where are you going? Where are you going? Didn't you just see the bounty that he placed on your head? You have to forget. I'm Terror Usopp of the Seas. No, scratch that. I'm King Usopp." Let's say that there's a snail, a video snail, as he raises his slingshot in the air, and he says, "Scratch that. I'm King Usopp, Terror of the Seas, co first mate commander, co first mate commander of the Straw Hat Pirates, sniper of the new Pirate King, and greatest sniper in the world," as he's holding up his arrow. But then Dragon says, "Are you crazy? You're trying to shoot Doflamingo. Do you know how far he is?" "Yes, I do. If I can hit Doflamingo right in the chest, my new name is God Sniper Usopp. You're putting up some bold statements. I can back it up. Now, can you please, in some way, form, or shape, help me, get up in the air?" You did not have all of this planned out. Well, since you're so good, I'm not gonna give you a cloud or something. Sabo, shoot him up in the air. Wait, no. Oh, I don't think this is around that. So, Dragon is just gonna hit him with a lot of wind, so he goes up in the air. He's still flying in the sky like a meteor as he yells, "Bullet of the King, God Sniper Usopp," as he shoots it at Doflamingo. Doflamingo then he sees something with a little bit of hockey around it. He says, "Ah, what's that?" Then he looks closer, and one of his, somebody who works for him, who, let's just say this person knows armament hockey. This is to show you how powerful Usopp is. Say, "Wait, watch out! It's a bullet!" As Doflamingo says, "What?" And then his crewmate or somebody jumps in front of him, and they get hit with the bullet. Even though they had armament hockey on, the bullet went straight through them and hit Doflamingo right in the chest as Doflamingo drops to one knee. Dragon throws Usopp all the way over to where Doflamingo is. He then yells, "Now do you see the true power of God Sniper Usopp? You should have already known not to mess with the co-first mate of the Straw Hat Pirates," as he aims at Doflamingo's head. As Doflamingo, he's on the ground. Y'all gotta give this guy a little bit of empathy. He just got shot through the chest. Sorry for anybody. Let's take a moment of silence for everyone who went to a better or worse place in this entire coronavirus. For the people who were killed, for the people who died by illness, for the people, all of the people like that, let's, have some empathy for them. Sorry. We should have ended Doflamingo in 2020. but we're going to have to end him in 2021. As Usopp then points at Doflamingo, and he says, "This is going to be a gruesome sight. But because I'm not a killer, I'm not going to kill you like that while you're on one knee. Get up, Doflamingo!" And the recorder snail, behind the recorder snail, the world government and the admirals, they're saying, if we could somehow try to get this. No, he would never. He's already dedicated to making Luffy king of the pirates. As Usopp then jumps in the air and he says, "Meet your new king of the snipers!" And he shoots the bullet down at the ground. When this bullet hits the ground, the entire ground erupts and breaks. The Straw Hat Pirates, they got on their ship. Let's say that Usopp gave them a little dose. But all of a sudden, rubble starts to fly everywhere. And then Usopp says, "Fear the power of Commander Usopp." And Usopp's walking away. As Doflamingo, he tries to shoot one of his strings at Usopp, but then Usopp turns around as he takes out his slingshot and he slaps it away. Usopp really is going to gain a little bit of interest in Usopp, so that means that he's not only going to take Luffy, he's going to take Usopp. That's the only way I can make Usopp powerful and give him hockey. Oh, shoot. As Usopp then walks away and says, "How's that?" "It was great, Usopp. But then Sanji says, "Don't get too cocky." As Usopp then says, "What, you're jealous?" "Hey, what color's Usopp?" Okay, I see what I'm gonna do in this. What if? Should I give him a little bit of that, Samoan spirit? Y'all, I want to give Usopp a little bit of, that Roman Reigns, Dwayne Johnson spirit. So, we then skip to the Wano Country arc. Because of Usopp's power, let's say that they somehow figured out a way to defeat the Balditas, or Battlebeaters. As they reach to the island, and we see Usopp's new appearance. He has a, Dwayne Johnson tattoo, the chest thing. Which I don't think that's Dwayne Johnson's tattoo. I think that's let's not get into that. As he has a tattoo on his arm and his chest. It doesn't matter which arm or chest you pictured it on. No, it's going to be on Usopp's, arm that he uses his sniper on. As the Usopp pirate, no. Should I do it? Maybe I should, though. Yeah, no. So, even though they're part of the Straw Hat Pirates, they all have their own crews. Usopp has a crew called the Usopp Pirates, Zora has a crew called the I don't give a S Pirates, and they're not actually called that. I really just don't give a, Sanji has a group called the Chef Pirates. Nami has a group called the I don't really give a Pirates. Not actually. You know what I mean. Robin has a group called the Get the Out of My Face Pirates. You know what I mean. Frankie, Chopper, yeah, they're all here. As they're standing right before Whitebeard, Luffy, Zoro and Usopp standing in front. Then Usopp points his sniper thing at at uh he points his slingshot at Ace, and he yells out to Ace, "Ace, turn!" As Ace says, "What?" "Turn!" And then Luffy then puts his hand on the ground as he extends his head and he says, "Turn!" Oh, turn. What? As Ace just turns a little bit, and then Usopp says, "This is gonna be a challenge," as he takes out his bullet. So this is going to be, you see that strap bullet around Usopp's chest? Since Usopp does not have a real gun, that's going to go on his pistol socket, and it's not just going to be the little things that are going to be shooting, that he's going to be shooting. He's going to be shooting the entire bullet, not just the top. As he then points at Ace, and Whitebeard says, "Hey, I know you're the greatest sniper in the world, but not even great sniper Usopp can reach that way. Stay back, young child, before you kill Ace." As he then throws his axe, I'd say, at no, he then throws his spear-like weapon at Usopp, trying to distract him. But then Usopp says, "Nice challenge." As he shoots it over at Ace, Whitebeard says, "No!" And then, before we all know it, Son Goku thinks that the bullets know, like, a little joke. So he puts his hand out and he covers it in armament hockey. But when he puts it right over Ace's cuffs, all of a sudden he feels this sharp pain through the middle of his hand. She then looks at his hand and he says, "What the?" As he looks down at Usopp. I mean, all the way over where Usopp is. Usopp then says, and I quote, "You can't stop a bullet if you can't stop your own shame." What? Dumbest quote of 2021. Come on, I'm working on it, Zoro. But then but then out of nowhere, Son Goku then starts to feel his arm numbing up. Oh, I guess that kind of was the wrong bullet. That probably would have killed Ace if I was aiming at his chest or anywhere lethal. As Whitebeard's just looking at this kid in amaze. And then he says, "So those stories are true. You're God Sniper Usopp, aren't you?" Yes. It's great. Usopp has done a lot of studying. As he says, "It's nice to stand up in a presence of yours." Now, for this brief moment in time, Usopp is the strongest person in the Straw Hat Pirates. Okay, so now, Zoro and Sanji then rush out, trying to do their little battle. But then Luffy grab. What the heck? Wait, was that Kaneki? Ooh, yeah. Nah. Oh, but then Luffy grabs both Zoro and Sanji, and he says, as they're just wallowing in the air, he then says, "Sorry, me and Usopp already had this planned out. If you want to make a plan, you're gonna have to tell it to us before me and the first commander of my crew do it." You see, Zoro stepped down from the position because it's too much work even though he kind of likes having targets on his back, he doesn't like all of what he is getting. As then Usopp says, "Throw me in the air." And then Whitebeard looks down at him and says, "Are you talking to me?" "Yes, I'm talking to you." He was supposed to be Luffy. And then he says, "Okay, you're only gonna get yourself killed," as he throws Usopp in the air. And while Usopp's in the air, he sees a giant and a guy with a sword with red hair. He says, "Oh, that must be Red Hair Shanks. But who's that other guy?" As Luffy then says, "Usopp, stop getting distracted!" And then he says, "Don't tell me about it." As he then shoots his bullet right down at the ground. And he then says, "Bullet smash!" And when it hits the ground then erupts. As the ground is overlapping and it goes into the air. Then while Usopp is still in the air, he then shoots a bullet right over at the admirals. Which causes a little explosion. As Luffy catches Usopp, Kuzan. Wait, Aokiji. Kizaru. Yes, Kizaru. As Kizaru and Usopp then look at each other, they say, "What color is Kaido?" "I really don't know." Curse this. When I figure out what color Kaido is, I'm gonna change what I just said. So me and you are both gonna be fighting each other to earn the right as the strongest colored man in the world. I didn't really think about that. But if you know any of your science, you know that we're not the strongest. We're only top 3. Huh? See, you know what I'm talking about when you read the wanted posters again. As Usopp then says, I'm Usopp. Or should I say God Killer Usopp? And I'm one of the emperors of the sea. Now y'all might be wondering, when the H did this happen? Usopp's not one of the emperors of the sea. He's just making this exclamation because I don't want y'all to kill me in the comments, bro. As Kizaru then says, "That's a really strong statement to push out. Are you sure you can keep up to it?" "Oh wait, you're gonna be dead." "Right. I don't like your attitude. Uso." "Uso? What are you?" "I'm Samoan." "What?" As then Usopp then shoots his bullet at Kizaru, which, while Kizaru is still doing his foolishness, then he gets hit in the arm, barely grazed, as he then teleports to one spot, and then he does it to another, and then another, and another, but then Usopp decides to shoot right at the ground, which sends rubble and a little explosion into the air. Then he says, "Cannonball Kingdom!" No, then he then says, "Starlight Cannonball!" as he shoots it at Kizaru. This actually goes so fast that it hits Kizaru. Don't you get it? Starlight. It hits Kizaru right in the chest, right in the gut. Kizaru then goes flying into the ground. Then Usopp jumps in the air as he says, "Now die. Lava shooting bomb!" Now Usopp actually trains, and he just got this move. He says, "So basically," as he's at a shop, he says, "So basically, if I can get my, these bullets, if I can get my stuff into there, if I can get lava into there while putting an explosion, that means, I never thought of it. about it like that. Usopp does not have hockey at all. Like they haven't even known 2 years. I'm not gonna make Usopp too overpowered because y'all seem not to like that. As Usopp then fires right at Kizaru. Kizaru phased, but he could only phase for a short period because his arm is burning him. He doesn't know where it came from. As then, he then gets exploded as most of his, thing comes, like, it's cut off, like his admiral suit. As he then says, who do you think you are to do that? So basically like your system? Well, sorry to break it to you, buddy, but in the Straw Hat Pirates, we kinda have your system, and I'm the fleet admiral of that crew. Now you might be wondering, where did this suit come from? I didn't mean to do it, but I accidentally killed one of your admirals. As a few of them then looked down at Usopp with anger. Straight up fearsome anger. And then Usopp is still yapping. And then he says, and I also forgot to point out, I am on the pinnacle of all races. And then Usopp, he has this new move as he points his gun at himself. And then Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates, they're fighting, but then they see what Usopp is doing. They say, we better get out of here. If he's gonna do that move, he's gonna lose his mind. As Usopp then shoots himself, and then he does it again and again. So he basically created these kind of steroids, taking away the drawback, taking away the pain. It doesn't kill him, but everything about Usopp gets stronger. His muscles are bulkier. His eyes can see way farther. He's kind of looking like Kirishima. She then says, black ricochet, as then these black lines then go around his body. This is, of course, his tattoos. And then Usopp's teeth are sharper. He then looks up at the sky and he yells, I am God Sniper Usopp, Commander. Second commander of the Straw Hat Pirates. Second in command, I see. Right after the captain, I guess. You got it. You got it right. As then, Kizaru is just looking down at Usopp. They're enraged. He then says, no matter how strong you are or how fast you are, you'll never be able to outrun the speed of light. Or will I? As then Usopp, he can run as fast as a bullet. He can't run as yeah, he's not gonna be that fast. As then he says, bullet ricochet. As then Usopp, brings every part of his body close to each other. As he then zooms off right at Kizaru, which this hits Kizaru and it keeps hitting Kizaru until Kizaru teleports. But then it goes right into the base. And then Usopp says, you must be Commander Kuzan. As he then shoots at Kuzan. Kuzan turns into ice, but this bullet explodes right in Kuzan's face, which breaks Kuzan ice, knocking him out. I know they're way powerful than this, but then he gets up to Akainu, as he says, "You're down." Luffy's fighting Garp right now, and Whitebeard's just doing his own thing, fighting. But let's say Shanks has already arrived. They're gonna arrive a little bit earlier. Shanks and the Shanks Pirates with Whitebeard and Wait, what color's Blackbeard? Yes, yes, yes. Blackbeard's that. Okay, okay, okay. I really don't feel like Kaido is. Yeah, he's not. He's not a brother. Oh yeah, he just had like he did not see anything. It's not like that's on one of the season 3 episodes. Oh, shut up. As then, Usopp rushes at Akainu. When he tries to punch Akainu, his hand goes straight through Akainu. As then he says, "Ah, it burns," but then he starts to heal. Just kidding. With this, I amp my body up 2 times stronger. As then he puts his arm back and he yells, "Bullet Ricochet Devil!" As he then shoots his arm at Akainu, which sound itself hits Akainu as Akainu's lava and himself just blast into the air. Lava blasting everywhere, burning the ground. As when Akainu, this sent a shockwave which mostly destroyed most of the island. As Blackbeard says, "Well, Shiver Me Timbers, what's his devil fruit?" As one of his crewmates then speaks up, he doesn't have a devil fruit. He's the strongest man in the world. Wait, he's the most he's part of the Straw Hats. He's part of the Straw Hat Pirates. Ooh, as this then sends a shock down Blackbeard's spine. He says, "I never knew that they were that strong now." Dang. As they're then notified, but then Son Goku has to go on about his not rampage, but little thing. As he then says, So the rumors are true. You're God Killer Usopp. You're the strongest sniper in the world, and you make a case for the top 5 snipers in history. If my mind serves me right, you're trying to become the strongest colored man in the world. As he then looks at Akainu, which this gets Blackbeard. This gets Blackbeard. Who else? Son Goku. Kuzan's already down. Kizaru's already down. Kuzan's down. Akainu? Nah, he's not a brother. He ain't a brother, man. Everybody's down right now. All of the colored men in the vicinity then look at Usopp as they say, "So that's his goal. He's probably already achieved it. You know what they say. He's God Sniper Usopp. What can't he do?" As Usopp then says, "You got most of it right, but you're not finished. But you forgot one thing. One thing. If I can become the greatest sniper in history, then that would make my case, and my crew's case, and my team's case of the wait, let's see. Ranky Driver Brook, Nami, Sanji, what's her name? Robin, Luffy, Zoro. And then Usopp. There's 8 members. Wait, no, there's technically 9 because you have to. Yeah, and Luffy. As Usopp then says, we're going to be the 9 gods of the sea. As everyone gets mad. The last 9 gods of the sea were strong, were 9 strong, devilish criminals. Their name, who held the strongest fruits of history. Zeus, Poseidon, Hera, Hades. What's her name? Demeter. You know the next one. But then, and then there's Hera. I don't know how many there were. And then they say, the gods of this, the god pirates of the sea died years ago by marines. And she then says, yes, I know. Some people call them myths because they haven't been seen because they were killed hundreds of years ago, right? As Robin then says, what? They're true. He didn't even let me get to the polygram about that. In order to be the Pirate King, each and every one of your crew members have to get that power. You know your stuff, kid. If I know my stuff. That might be the last thing you ever hear. But then, smoke then starts to come out of his body. Dang it hasn't been 3 hours. Wait, I've used up a lot of my life energy. I've used up a lot of my life energy. That's to come back to my body. Dang it. As Usopp is struggling to stand, Son Goku then sees this as he says, You're talking all of that big smack, but you know that your body can't hold any longer. Damn, he figured me out. And then says, that just means that I'm gonna have to kill you before I finish. As then he tells Ace, Ace, do it now! As Ace uses his fire at Son Goku, but then Son Goku says, he was out the entire time? Luffy has already finished with Garp, as he then bites his fist and then he yells, third gear! And he punches Garp in the arm. This is non-Buddha Garp. So he punches Garp in the arm, sending him flying into the rubble and rocks. As then Usopp, there's dust and Usopp can't see. He says, dang it, I can't see! But then he's then pushed all the way back by Whitebeard. As Whitebeard already has the hole in his chest. Whitebeard's standing right in front of him, and he says, you can't shoot while there's all this smoke here. As then Usopp then tells Whitebeard, thanks, Mr. Whitebeard. I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna shoot through that hole in your chest, and I'm gonna shoot through the dust. Now, Usopp can barely, and when I say barely, I mean barely see Son Goku because the effects of the drug that Usopp was just taking is starting to wear off now. They're starting to, dissipate and melt in his body. So, soon he's gonna have to go, poop out that crap. As he then shoots right through Whitebeard's hole in his chest. Whitebeard says, what? As he hits Son Goku in the arm, and then he says, stinky knockout gas, and knocks out Son Goku. As the Straw Hat Pirates then get Ace, as they stand on a pedestal. So they then yell, as Luffy then yells, if you want to become the Pirate King, you're gonna have to go through me. As everyone takes, higher ranked pirates then take this as a threat. Big Mom then says, it seems the new of the worst generation are finally starting to buy in. That god killer Usopp. He could probably become the Emperor of the Sea. He just defeated all of the admirals and the Captain Admiral with ease. Maybe I can take this though. He doesn't seem like he fears anything. But then Big Mom she teleports, like some bull crap like that. And she's standing right in front of Usopp as she says, with a little whistle laugh. She says, I'm going to take your soul. And then Usopp looks at her and she says, and he says, do not take this to any offense or of any levels. But he then says, you want me to help you become Pirate King because I'm so strong, right? Well, how could an old hag like you become the Pirate King? Number one, I've never heard of anything called the Pirate Queen. You'd probably be making history. Number two, women aren't meant to be pirates, which sends a shockwave through the entire world. Like, this is being broadcasted, and people hear this, they're mad as heck. You can be admirals, but you die there. Number two, as he then looks around, but he sees Whitebeard, Shanks, Kaido caught up, Kaido, and Big Mom. He then says, wait, the 5 emperors. Wait, no, 4 emperors. They're all here as Usopp then feels this rush to his body because he's always wanted to defeat the emperors or outshine the emperors. As he then grins, he's grinning so hard his teeth are starting to break. Don't worry, he still has those razor teeth. They're starting to, like, come off. But Usopp is just so happy. Like, you could feel the presence and aura around him as Luffy. Usopp and Luffy are childhood friends. As Luffy, Ace, and Luffy. So that would mean that Usopp's the first person on Luffy's trio. So basically, Luffy, Ace, and Usopp then say, it's so sad that we're gonna accomplish our dream without Sato. As Big Mom, Kaido, and everybody just gets a shocked, Sabo. As everybody just gets a shocked expression, they say, what? Now it's time for us to destroy the 4 emperors! As Usopp then stands in front of all of the crew members, in front of Ace and Luffy, as he says, you're a member, follow my lead. Why should we? It's because when we were kids, you know that I was always the captain of our crew. Today, we will accomplish our dreams for Sabo. As he points his gun at Kaido. He points his gun at Big Mom, which Kaido is, like miles behind, a little bit behind Big Mom, like a lot behind at the end of the island. As Shanks then puts out his sword, and Zoro and Luffy goes for Shanks. But then Usopp says, Whitebeard, you can go flee. Take Ace. What? But we can't let that. Come on, do it, Zoro. Don't boss me around. As he uses the edge of his sword to, like the cup of his sword to, knock some sense into Porcus the Ace. As he throws him over to Whitebeard, as Whitebeard says, thank you. I'll remember this in my heart for the rest of my life. But then Blackbeard comes as he says, where do you think y'all are going? As Usopp then says, this is going to be a problem. Okay. Yeah, do we have the ship on the other side? Yes, we do. Can you please throw, what's his name? Can you please throw Whitebeard and his pirates over at the ship too? Yeah. All of you flee. I'm literally going to be dropping a bomb on their head. And I don't mean just any regular bomb. Oh, shoot. I mean a bomb. Okay. As Usopp literally drops a bomb on everybody. Which, this actually injured Kaido, Big Mom, everybody's injured. As the entire island is destroyed. Like, only the strong survived. Was that? Wait, wouldn't that mean that what's his name dies? I don't want to kill Cody or Kobe though, because you know. Shit out of bed. Garp protected all of them, but then this is literally like an entire bomb. And when they get on the ship, an entire wave. You know how like in Wano that ginormous wave from Haki or Aku or you know the lava guy or lava girl, whatever. That ginormous wave. Just imagine that about 3 times bigger. Then splashes into the sea, sending everybody flying. Is this where I'm going to be ending off? This is where I'm going to be ending off as well. We're out. Remember, go beyond God's sniper, Usopp.